soon as we start to close that down and make MPs inaccessible, then the terrorist actually wins.
5 years ago, when Khalid Masood drove over Westminster Bridge, you stepped in and performed CPR on PC Keith Palmer to try and save his life. First of all, your reaction to the sentencing of the murderer of Sir David Amess?
Well, can I just echo the speaker's comments who've just been on the radio? David Amess was such an incredible character, so engaging. Everybody knew him because he was involved in so many initiatives. Just the week before, I had travelled with him to Doha, to Qatar, and he helped facilitate a meeting I had with the Taliban. I was the first MP to do that. Ironic then that he should then come back, go about his duties, and be attacked in this way for simply doing his work. And it shows you that we still live in very, very dangerous times indeed. I think Britain is unique in the exposure that MPs have with their public, and I really would not want to see that change. We have to be aware and concerned and vigilant, but this bond that we have, this openness, this transparency, this connectivity that we have with the electorate is absolutely critical. You don't see it. You don't see it in America. You don't see it in France, Germany. It's absolutely brilliant what we have here, and we mustn't allow the terrorist to win. As soon as we start to close that down and make MPs inaccessible, then the terrorist actually wins. Not only that, but that's the gene pool of people wishing to step forward then would diminish. I would hate anybody to think I wouldn't want to go into public life because I have safety fears. So I absolutely agree with the speaker in saying we absolutely have to be vigilant, take more precaution, but ensure that openness and that transparency remains the same.
I mean, you've just touched on a really important point about, does this put off good people from coming into politics? I certainly know a lot of women that I've spoken to who would like to enter politics, but they are frightened, particularly because female politicians get so much abuse on social media, the death threats, the rape threats. What can we do to send a signal to people that actually politics is a safe profession to go into?
Yeah, well, we need the role models, but we also need the laws in place. I think social media, the pace in which it's entered our lives, has meant that we haven't developed the social norms, if you like, the cultural norms, the rules that we all agree with. It's moved too fast, and I've been speaking to some Ukrainian MPs, female MPs, that are putting their message out, and the abuse that they're getting is absolutely incredible and really disgusting as well. That people are able to hide behind, allowed to be anonymous, essentially, in social media, and we need to look carefully because this is now the way our world has gone, how we connect, how we communicate, and so forth. But the idea that you can hide behind an anonymous, facade, I think is something that needs to be looked at more carefully.
Tobias, you've just mentioned Ukraine. You are, of course, also chair of the Defence Select Committee. There have been overnight reports, unverified reports, but reports of the use of chemical agents. Your reaction to those reports, which are, of course, unverified at this stage?
So about a month ago, I was just looking through. I put a tweet out to say, what support are we giving to the Ukrainian people for the masks that they may require, the protective equipment, also the testing systems that you need to be able to verify the type of attack that might take place. And then are we seriously considering what our response would be? I still don't know what that response is. I'm really concerned that we have given too much of a green light to Russia, to Putin, to explore and exploit the breaches of the Geneva Conventions, war crimes, and indeed genocide, because of our fear of escalation, because of our fear of things ratcheting out of control. And therefore, what happens in Ukraine stays in Ukraine. And NATO is eventually benched from the side, not able to take part. If we see chemical weapons, this must be seen as a red line. We must act. We cannot allow Putin to act with impunity. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
Well, we're grateful for your time this morning. That's Tobias Ellwood, Conservative MP and Chair of the Defence Select Committee.